So I just want to get on here and talk about Dragon Ball Super. This week, or actually I think it was last week. Last week was the 3-year anniversary of the end of the Dragon Ball Super anime. And here we are in 2021. The manga's still going. We are awaiting the eventual return of a Dragon Ball animation, whether it be a movie or a TV series. And I wanted to take this time to look back and reflect on Dragon Ball 3 years later after Super ended. So when Dragon Ball Super first got announced, which actually would have been about 6 years ago this month, actually I think next week, it was 2015 April when they officially announced that Dragon Ball would have an anime coming back. You know, so many dreams of so many people, including me, came true. People did not get enough Dragon Ball. Throughout Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT, it just wasn't enough. Like, people wanted more. People love these characters. They love Goku, they love Vegeta, they love Gohan, they love everybody else. And they wanted more of not only the characters, but also the world that Toriyama created. So with Dragon Ball Super getting announced, I remember the hype. And then I remember they started to retell the first two movies, the first two modern movies, Dragon Ball Z, Battle of Gods, and Resurrection F. And then came the Universe 6 arc, which actually began in 2016 is when it was. And there was so much hype going into it. I mean, we all were just going nuts at that time because it was the first new Dragon Ball story told in TV form since, GT. Because everything else had been movies and retellings of the movies. And I remember the Universe 6 arc being a lot of fun, right, although it was simple. And I remember the appearance of the Grand Priest, and I remember just how hype it was. And then came the Future Trunks arc, and that's when things started going crazy, because if y'all remember, it wasn't until the Trunks arc that Dragon Ball started getting mainstream coverage. We were all covering Super. All of the YouTubers that covered Dragon Ball, we were all talking about Super. Facebook pages, Instagram pages, everyone was. But Forbes magazine did a story about the Trunks arc. And I remember thinking, what the hell is Dragon Ball doing in Forbes? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is Dragon Ball doing in Forbes, yo? What are we doing here? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's Forbes. What do they care? And I remember seeing it pop up, and that's when we started seeing a real big influx of the clickbait websites who you would start covering Dragon Ball and do a very sloppy job of doing so with their bad theories and bad information. It just got really bad, and I've done a lot of article debunks throughout the years of these websites because they obviously don't care about Dragon Ball. It wasn't until it started getting popular that people really started to hop on board. Whereas all of us stayed Dragon Ball fans even after it ended. Dragon Ball ended in 97, Dragon Ball GT. And the dub in English ended around 2004. So we had a couple movies in 06, but that was it. It was over, right? So it had been years. It was, decades, in fact, over a decade since Dragon Ball had been on. And a lot of us kept playing the video games and, kept up with some of the news, but there really wasn't much news. And then Super came along. And I was blessed enough to have a YouTube channel. I started my channel about a month before Super got announced, and I was very lucky because the channel was small. And then when Super got announced, I was lucky enough to be able to be a guy who was able to get news out fast and accurate. And I produced content that was different than a lot of people who were around back then. It was a different kind of channel, and I was very proud of that. And since then, we've had a lot of other channels come along, and they've come and they've gone. And, it's an interesting... YouTube is always interesting, not just in Dragon Ball, but in just the world, how you've got channels that come and go, and people who move on, and people who stay, subscribers who come and go. But one thing I'll tell you is that when we look back on Dragon Ball Super, I don't think Dragon Ball Super was on the level of Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball. Not even close. I don't think it was even close to that level. There were aspects of Super, whether it be the storytelling, the music, the animation, there were things about it that were not, to me, as... It didn't feel like old school Dragon Ball. But with that being said, there were moments of Dragon Ball Super that I think were comparable to the old stuff. Goku becoming Ultra Instinct, some of the Goku Black stuff, some of the, like, Goku moments with Nozawa or Shemmel, depending on what version you're watching, just screaming, their hearts out. There were a lot of things that, reminded us of the old days. And they also did a good job, well, some would say not a good job, of hammering us over the head with nostalgia bait. They brought back Frieza, they brought back Trunks, they even brought back Broly for the movie. Like, they rebooted him. They had Kale, which was like an old Broly, but a female version. They introduced female Saiyans. They did some evil Goku. All this, like, fan service idea that people, including myself, never thought they would do. They did it, and it became very much about pandering to the old fans. They also, at the same time, expanded on the lore of Dragon Ball, which I did appreciate. We now have 12 universes. We have different factions now, like the Pride Troopers. We have the Trio de Dangers. We have the Magical Girl group from Universe 2 led by Ribrianne. We've got a lot of different groups all around. And then we have the Galactic Patrol, which was introduced in Jocko, the manga, in 2013, I think it was. Now Jocko's a part of Dragon Ball Super. With the Moro arc, he was a big part of it because Goku and Vegeta joined up with the Galactic Patrol and fought against Moro. That whole story arc began with that. And it was just a crazy ride. And one thing I'll tell you is that no matter what my views are on Dragon Ball Super looking back, because honestly, it just doesn't compare to the old stuff, at the same time, Dragon Ball Super allowed me to do a lot of things that I never thought I could do. Dragon Ball Super allowed me to host conventions and panels and interview so many different people, whether it be voice actors or people I respect in the real world. Dragon Ball Super gave me friends on multiple continents. I've got friends in Australia. I've got friends in Japan, Asia, specifically Japan. People who work on Dragon Ball Super, I got friends. I got friends in Europe, in the UK, all over Germany, United States, South America. Pretty much every continent except for Antarctica, unless you count Quamman, who is from Antarctica, unless you count him. That's all 7 continents, yo. And even a couple from Africa. I didn't mention Africa. And it gave me the ability to do what I love to do for a living, which I'm still doing to this day, thankfully. Knock on wood. Even without a super anime, I'm still able to do this for a living. I'm still able to produce content about the manga and about the old stuff. So, Dragon Ball Super opened so many doors for me. I got to meet so many people that I would have never met if it wasn't for Dragon Ball. People who gravitated towards my channel and I gravitated towards them, who went on to become actual real-life friends, who have come to visit me, those who don't live locally, who I've hung out with in different parts of the world. I've traveled the world. I was able to go to California to go to the Dragon Ball Super Broly premiere. I've been to Chicago. I've been to freaking Texas. I went to Dallas for the first time. I went to Japan. And it was all because of Dragon Ball. I would have never done those things if I still worked in IT, being miserable for 10 years like I was. So ultimately, Dragon Ball Super changed my life. And at the end of the day, we can criticize the content, we can criticize Toriyama, we can criticize the production, but really, let's be honest, the majority of you probably wouldn't be here had it not been for Dragon Ball Super. It reignited interest in this franchise. And no matter where we go from here, whether it be movies or animation or whatever they're going to give us, probably both at some point, at the end of the day, and we still have the manga, but at the end of the day, it wasn't great. Dragon Ball Super did not make us feel those things as much as the old stuff did, at least not for me. But at the end of the day, it did a lot for me. And I thank Dragon Ball Super. And I miss those days. Even though it killed me health-wise, I miss those days of doing spoilers, at 4 in the morning. I miss those days of getting hyped up for an episode Saturday night. It killed my Saturday nights, but still, I miss those days of doing live streams and reacting to what we just saw. I miss those days of even theorizing and speculating on what was going to happen. The manga does it, but not the same as the anime every week. I miss that, yo. And now that I feel like I'm a better person, mentally, emotionally, and physically than I was when Super began, I'm even more ready. I'm even more ready now to see where this goes. I'm even more ready now to see how things evolve and to do it all over again. And hopefully soon we'll get the chance to experience that one more time. Even if it's just one more time. Even if we have a new Dragon Ball animation and it's only like for a year. Or even like for 3 years like Super was. Yeah, it's going to end, but that's okay. Because it's a memory that we can all share. And when we all get older, we can all know we made friends because of this. I was able to put together a convention with other people. Kamehacon 1 and 2. Whether or not there's controversy there for the second year or not, there is, but it doesn't matter. We did it. I did it for the fans, right? It was for the Dragon Ball fans. I sacrificed sleep that whole weekend to make sure I was there for everything, and it was worth it. It was worth it. It really was, and that's the truth. Dragon Ball Super was worth it. So those are my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed them. Remember to take care of yourself and each other, and yeah, hope you have a great one.